Hi everyone, my name is Susie Q and I am the owner and maker of Glitter with Susie Q. If you like the content that you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and share. You can also connect with me by Facebook, Instagram, and email. Hey everyone, today we're going to be making this really cute pineapple and sun, sand, and a pineapple in my hand epoxy tumbler. This is kind of a longer video, but trust me, it's worth it in the end. So stick around, watch the whole thing, and learn how to make this absolutely gorgeous cup. So our very first step is we are going to lay down our glitter, our base glitter, to make the pineapple. So I'm going to use the glitter Hey There by Glitter Chimp and also Lucky Me by Glitter Chimp. And so I am just going to, I believe it's about the, well, first I'm going to put epoxy on the cup. You got to put your epoxy on the cup first before you lay down your glitter. So go ahead and get that cup nice and epoxied. These are both fine glitters, so you don't want to put too much epoxy on there or else it might kind of look a little wet, but just put enough, a small amount of epoxy on there, but enough for the glitter to stick. So once you get your epoxy on there, I am going to first start with my gold glitter Hey There. I measured, I want to say 2 to 2.5 inches up on the cup, and I am going to put my Hey There glitter in that area. The reason why I chose 2 to 2.5 inches was because that is for my pineapple decal. That is how much space I needed for the actual physical pineapple part, and the green, the Lucky Me, is going to be the stems of the pineapple. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing it right, so that way it was a slight transition from the gold to the green from the actual physical pineapple to the pineapple leaves. So you know, depending on what kind of decal you use and how big your decal is, your measurements might change slightly, but I just wanted to make sure that I had the right amount of gold versus green mixture for my decal that I used. So here in a moment, you're gonna see me doing my Hey There glitter, and then you'll see me work on the green glitter with Lucky Me, and then you're gonna see that I'm gonna go to the middle and I'm gonna kind of do a little ombre so that it's not a real harsh transition on the pineapple. once I got my glitter on there, and once that epoxy cured, I stuck it on my tumbler turner and I put on a layer of epoxy to get my glitter covered up to do the next step. For my next step, I'm going to be applying my pineapple and stencil vinyl. I am going to do a peekaboo, glitter peekaboo, and so I cut out this pineapple from Cricut Design Space, and I'll put the number in the description below. But this was the pineapple that I used, and I'm just trying to be very careful about lining up the pineapple part in the gold and the green, the leaf part in the green. So I'm just gonna attach this to my cup and make sure it's exactly where I want it, how I want it, and then I am going to peel off the backing of the decal, and I as you can see, I kind of struggled to get the pineapple off a little bit, and so I kind of had to figure out how to get the pineapple off so that I didn't actually tear my stencil. But I'm gonna get it off the backing, and then I'm just gonna lay it right down onto the cup. Once I get it down on the cup, I wanna make sure that it's in the right spot. For example, the gold part is the pineapple part and the leaf part is in the green area. So that's all you're doing here. You're just checking to make sure that everything is laying down where you want it to be and how you want it to lay down. Our next step is actually a really important one because we're going to be doing a glitter ombre. I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to find my stencil vinyl underneath the layer of spray paint and the layer of glitter that we're going to put on there. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking my hot glue gun, and on the low heat setting, I am putting hot glue on the stencil. That way it is much easier to find, and you know exactly where you're pulling from whenever you are starting to pull up your decal. Without this being raised, there would be no way for me to find my decal underneath the layer of spray paint and the layer of glitter that I'm gonna do. So this is actually really important step because it made my life a whole lot easier. I'm not sure I would have been able to find this decal underneath the glitter and spray paint. So don't skip this step. Make sure that you do it. All right, now I'm taking my cup outside, and with this spray paint Spa Blue, I am going to spray my cup down, and I am just gonna do a real quick thin layer of spray paint, just making sure that the whole cup is covered. I want really good coverage, but I don't want drips in my spray paint. So just make sure you get a really good coverage, and make sure that you have, but you don't want so much that it's dripping off the cup. After you spray paint, just make sure that you fully let your spray paint dry before you move into the next step. If you put your epoxy down on wet spray paint, or if you try to peel up that decal before your spray spray paint is dry, it's gonna mess up your spray paint. So just make sure that you fully let it dry before you move into this step, which is adding your epoxy and then putting your top layer of glitter on. So I am just rubbing epoxy everywhere on my cup. You don't need to go over the decal because it's such a huge decal. You can really kind of avoid it, but I'm making sure that I'm going in between like each of the little leaves and making sure that enough epoxy gets there, but I'm not going to go into the center of my decal. I just didn't need to do that. So I'm just rubbing that epoxy all over it, and then I'm going to take Nicole Merritt Original Glitter, and the name of this is Sea Breeze, and I am going to spread Sea Breeze all over the cup. And let me tell you guys, this glitter is absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I would highly recommend it. It is absolutely beautiful. You can see in the video how beautiful it is, and it doesn't even do it justice on video. So it really, really, really is a gorgeous video. Go pick some of this stuff up. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, am I the only one in the world while I am pouring my glitter that I just get it everywhere? Like, I pour glitter just absolutely insane. Comment below if you're the same way. I know that it might help if I kept the lids on my glitter, but I can't stand pouring glitter out of a lid, and so it always seems that I just dump glitter everywhere while I am, and I don't know, I can't help myself, but I am just pouring this glitter on there and making a ginormous mess, and I do it every single time. So comment below if you're kind of like me and you make a ginormous mess while you are doing your glitter, because it's always a mess in here with glitter. After I'm done pouring my glitter everywhere, I put the remaining back into the jar, and then I am going to peel the decal immediately. You do not want your decal sitting in that epoxy and letting that epoxy cure around that decal. If you let it cure, it's gonna be a headache to get that decal off. Oh, I'm also patting down the glitter to try to make sure that it lays flat. And so first I'm gonna pat it down, I'm gonna roll my cup around, try to get those big chunky pieces to lay down so that I don't have to do so much sanding and so many layers of epoxy later. So make sure that you kind of pat down that glitter, make sure that you roll it around, do what you need to do in order to get all that glitter to stay on your cup and stay flat on your cup. Once you're satisfied with that, then go ahead and immediately peel that decal like I was saying before. If you don't and your epoxy cures on that decal, it will not be a fun task getting it up. So just go ahead right now while you're thinking about it, it's in your hand, peel up that decal and expose that beautiful work that you've been doing. This part is probably one of my most favorite parts of doing peekaboos, because you get to start to see your vision coming to life. And as any crafter or creator knows, that the whole reason why we do this is to see this vision come to light. And so go ahead and peel up that decal and see all the hard work and see that it's worth what you've done. Alrighty, now that your epoxy has had time to cure, you're going to go ahead and you are going to use your Crystal-Lac glitter glue, and I highly recommend sealing in your glitter. The whole reason why you want to seal in your glitter is because you want your glitter to stay as flat as possible, And by sealing it in, you are making your life much easier later on by having to do less coats of epoxy and less sanding. Trust me, I promise you, this step is worth it. Once you get that, that crystallite glitter glue on the exposed glitter, let it dry for at least 2 hours, and then you'll see me put on a layer of epoxy. Maybe you won't see that. Maybe I forgot to record that. I don't remember at this moment. But you do want to make sure that you seal your glitter, give it at least 2 hours to dry, and then you can go ahead and put a layer of epoxy on there. If you're enjoying what you're seeing right now, do me a huge favor. Please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and please share the channel with other people who you think might enjoy watching this content as well. I would really appreciate it, and I hope that you do those 3 things for me. Alright, you guys, you know it wouldn't be a video that I do unless I struggle with something. And here is where I struggled. Holy moly, getting this decal to lay down on top of this pineapple was an incredible effort that really took a lot of time and patience. So I think it's because when you add the layers of epoxy, you're making your cup bigger and thicker, right? And I did not take account for that whenever I cut this decal out. I just cut it at the exact same size that I did the stencil. And as you can see, it does not line up perfectly. So at first I just start off and I think, okay, I'm gonna line it up and it's gonna lay down and everything is gonna be great. But as you will see here in a moment, it did not work out that way. I started from the top, then I went down to the bottom, then I went back to the top, and then I went back down to the bottom. And the only way that I could get this decal to actually stick and look remotely close to being on top of the glitter all the way was I ended up having to cut my decal in half. I cut it, well, not really in half. I had to cut it from the pineapple part to the leaves part. This made it so that I could actually maneuver the pieces that I was struggling with. So I'm gonna let this play out here in just a minute, but here in a minute you're gonna see that I ended up having to cut it in half in order to be able to line up the leaf part of the pineapple and then the actual pineapple part in itself. You will also see that there is a gap in between the leaves and the pineapple. And that's where I think that extra, not extra epoxy, but the epoxy that I put on there, that's just how it worked out. There was a gap between and where I cut it in order for it to line up properly. So off camera, what I did was I just took a black permanent marker and I just kind of connected the dots in between where you can see where the leaves and the pineapple didn't quite meet up. So I used a permanent marker in order to make it so that it looked like it connected. For whatever reason, I didn't record that part. I don't know why. I think I was maybe at that point just so frustrated that I said, forget this, I'm done, I need a minute. And then I realized how silly it looked and I was like, okay, let me color this in real quick. And then I took a break. But here I am cutting it so that I can actually get it to line up properly. So here's where you can see that there's a really big gap between my leaves and the pineapple. And like I said, I didn't record it, but I did end up going in with a black permanent marker, and I just colored in a line but so that they matched up. It actually looks really good, and I know that it's there, so I can see it, but I think anybody just like looking at it, they would never know the difference. So don't stress out when things happen. Just color it in with a black permanent marker and move on with your life. Now I'm going to be adding the words to the back of my decal. So I chose this little phrase from Cricut Design Space: sun, sand, and a pineapple in my hand. It fit really well. I thought that it would look really cute, and so that's what I chose. You can see that I'm measuring to try to get it directly in the middle. I didn't measure right. It's not quite in the middle. Somehow I messed that up. Don't know how I did it, but I did it. Now kind of thinking about it, use the top, use the lid of the cup, put it on as close to center as possible on one side, and then use the other side to help you know exactly where your middle is. Maybe in a video I will show you exactly how to do that, but for whatever reason when I was working on this, I just flat out didn't think about it. For this decal, I went ahead and I made it 3 layers. So the very first layer that I'm putting on now is just plain black vinyl. I'll link it in the description below, and I just set it on there and flattened it down. The second layer is a holographic vinyl, and it is so pretty. I want to say that when I got it, it said that it was a blue holographic, but like you know, holographic kind of changes depending upon what light hits it and all of that. On this cup, it actually looks more purple, which is actually wonderful because a lot of, depending on the light that's in there, it is, the glitter throws a lot of blue and a lot of purple. And so it's really pretty and it looks really great because it kind of complements the color of the glitter. So that's the second layer. And then the third layer is a glitter, just a glitter vinyl that I found at Hobby Lobby. I'll also link that down below. But these 3, the reason why I chose the gold was it kind of reminded me of sand. And so, you know, this is kind of a beachy kind of cup. So I wanted to put the kind of color of sand for the top layer. For whatever reason, I decided to choose, out of these 3 vinyls, the holographic and the gold vinyl are 2 of the hardest vinyls that I own to work with. And I decided to put them both on one cup at the same time. Whew, it took a lot of patience. Not so much with the lining that up, but with the cutting. So for the cutting, because the holographic vinyl is so stiff, I actually have to tape the piece of, what is it called? The piece of vinyl to my mat so that it doesn't pop off the mat while it's being cut. It is incredibly stressful and very frustrating working with this, but it comes out very cute. You just have to tape it down to the mat or else it will pop off your mat, and no matter how sticky your mat is. It could be a brand new mat and this holographic vinyl is gonna pop off. Just tape it down and just trust me. I promise you, you are It will frustrate you if you do not, if you don't tape it down. The gold glitter vinyl is also a pain to deal with, because I have to cut it on the holographic setting, and I actually have to do a twice cut. So once it's done cutting the first time, don't unload your mat, keep it loaded in there and hit that C or that cut button again on your Cricut, and it will go right over those cut marks one more time, and then you will be able to get your decal weeded. If you don't cut it twice on the holographic setting, it's gonna come off in one piece. It like almost doesn't cut in that first cut for whatever reason. I don't know. Take my word for it. Follow that piece of advice, because if not, you will waste a lot of vinyl trying to get it to weed. It will be impossible. It will not cut. So that's kind of my advice for these two pieces of vinyl. And I also, for whatever reason, I like to build my decals now on the cup, but I should have cut this apart and done it word by word. As you can see, I kind of struggled. Things got off. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but just for me in the future, when it's a long kind of phrase like this, I will cut my my words into smaller pieces so that it's easier for me to line up. Okay, after your vinyl is on, go ahead and take this over to your turner, put on a layer of epoxy, probably 2 or 3 layers of epoxy, because these will be your final coats. And once you have your final coats done, your tumbler is finished. This cup came out so beautiful, so sparkly. It really makes me want to go to the beach and have a couple of drinks and just enjoy life and love every minute of relaxation and just sitting on a beach. So here's the final product. Here's the final cup. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. I hope y'all have a great day and enjoy the next video that's coming up for you. You can connect with me on social media with Facebook and Instagram, and you can also send me an email. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. But now it's time for you to watch the video that's suggested for you on the screen. Have a great day. Bye.